what exactly the triggers are and how we need to look into it. Okay, and what is the use of triggers basically? These are a very important part in SQL. So just carefully look into the basics, then we will start implementing it. Okay. Okay. So let's start the story of triggers in SQL. About myself, it means about triggers only. Triggers are database objects that are designed to automatically execute. It means like we know that uh, something like if we will give some command and already inserted functions will be executed, then it will be working as automatically executions. Sometimes what happens, we just start the program and in automated control machines, all the things are performed by just one single command, right? And in many industries, you know that only by using one function or one program or a one control system, all the systems are also controlled, right? So how that is possible? Because they have their control functions with that, right? So here also we will look into those control functions that how we can control the results. Okay, suppose uh, let's say you want to enter a passport number, okay, and passport number having a fixed digit, okay, the total number of characters or total number of numbers in passport number are fixed. Suppose it's of 12 digit, okay. So whenever anyone will enter a passport number, if that person gives an input of 10 digits, not 12, so your system will give an error that enter at 12 digit number, right? Suppose as a mobile number, here in India, the mobile numbers are of 10 digits, right? Maybe over there also. So uh, whenever a user will input mobile number less than 10 digits, it will give an error or it will give a message that enter a correct mobile number. Many times in form submission or in online uh, registrations, online sign up, and logins also, many times this thing happens to you also that we are entering the email ID and until we are not giving the at the rate or something, till that the system says invalid email ID, right? So that kind of thing can be created in SQL also. And using these particular functions, let's see how we can control our results. Okay, so that's why it is said that uh, triggers are database objects that are designed to automatically execute a set of SQL queries or statements when a specific event occurs within the database. So I given you the example that you have invalid mobile number, enter a correct mobile number. That type of automatically executed SQL queries are there. You are entering a mobile number, but it is giving you another warning or another message, right? So how that is possible? That is done. So these events can include actions like whenever you are inserting something, whenever you are updating something, whenever you are deleting rows in the table. Okay. In these three cases, this particular automatic executions happen. Okay, triggers are basically used to enforce business rules. Suppose uh, in company, you know that if you are below 18, there is a age limitations that if you are below that particular age, you can't work in that particular company, right? So whenever HR or someone who is entering the detail of the employees gives the detail, then if they by mistake leave the age column blank, okay, so it will be automatically given that 18. It will return minimum value of 18, right? And suppose there is a rule in the company that if you many time it happens whenever you are going to your office, if you are late by 30 minutes, late by 15 minutes, then there will be deduction in salary. So whenever you will put your attendance mark there, then the system will automatically identify how much time you are late. So according to that, the system will automatically calculates how much salary it will be deducted, right? So those are backend works automatically SQL queries are doing. Okay. And uh, while implementing more rules also that some company says if there is a new joining, okay, new fresher joining and the experience is of 1 year only, the minimum salary must be 20,000. Or you can say the salary must be in between 20 to 30,000. By mistake, when the HR is entering the data, so they entered 2 lakh instead of putting 20,000. Okay. So the system will automatically convert it into 20,000, the minimum value. Okay. So let's see how it happens with SQL and how we can create these particular triggers into SQL, right? So the components of trigger basically includes three type of triggers there are according to the events. The first one is before. Okay, before it means triggered before the specified event occurs. Okay, so until the event is occur, so this particular trigger will function before that. Okay, like uh, you will enter and then something happen. Okay, and the second thing is that the as you are entering the mobile number, okay, and you forgot to mention it, right? So in that case, uh, in background, the things are automatically happen before entering it, right? As soon as you enter something, some events are occurred, right? That no, before going into it, you need to update this one, right? So in that way, got it? So that's the thing. Okay, so after the after means after is that trigger will work whenever you will put the value into something and according to that value, some other results are occurring, right? Some other things are happening. Okay. And instead of this trigger, this type of trigger used of views, allowing you to replace the default action with a custom action. That's what I am explaining you, that default salary is 20,000, but by mistake it is put 2 lakh. So it will automatically replace it with the 20,000. Okay. Now let's see. Very first, let's start with the first one. Okay. First one says before trigger. Okay. Before type of trigger. Before insert trigger on employee table. We will see what is the scenario. This trigger sets a default age of 18 for new employees if no age is specified during insertion. Whenever a new employee joining, so that by default the age will be 18, right? It will be by default must be 18. Okay. So there is no need, or whatever age you are going to insert, okay, by default it will be converted into 18 only. Okay. So let's see how it works. See, creating to the trigger. Okay. Create trigger before the same thing is there. Create trigger. Okay. Create table, create CTE, create temporary table. The same thing is there. So create trigger again, putting the name on it. Okay. And as you are using a before trigger, you have to mention that before insert on. Okay. Before insert on, where you are inserting this function, that is insert in a table. In a particular table, you are inserting this particular command, right? And you have to mention for each row. For a particular row, you are not doing this for this thing. You are doing it for each row, all rows of it. Because if there will be a new entry, that will not include in your executions if you will not mention for each row. Okay. The same thing, begin and end, right? Now, let's see if function is there, if new age is there, is null. If the new age is null, then uh, you have seen the case statements, right? So it is more or less like case statement that if a new age is null, okay, then what you need to say, set new age equals to 18. Okay. New age, it means new dot age, it means new entry in age column. Okay. And if this and this particular if function, the same delimiters are there. Let's see what will happen when you have this one. Okay. Let me check. Execute it. And how it executes, let's check that one also. So to check this trigger is created. Now on which table the trigger is working? It is working on employee table. Correct? Now, when I will enter a new data in my employee table, okay, to check is the trigger working well or not, because it is before trigger. So and whenever I insert a data into it, like I am putting a employee ID, first name, last name, age, null. I'm not putting anything. That's why if new dot age is null, that's why I'm putting the null. So male, okay, I'm inserting this information or inserting data into the employees table. One row affected, right? Let me check the things inside the table. As you can see, the last entry, Shivraj Sharma, age is 18. By default, the age is coming to be 18 here, right? Got it? Any confusions in this part? If you have any confusion, please let me know about this particular first trigger, because after this, more complex trigger will be there. We what we have done, let's revise it. Let's see it once again. Create trigger, name the trigger, okay, and where you want to insert this trigger in employees trigger. On what type of trigger you want to implement, that is the before trigger, okay. For each row I want to insert, then I am giving the particular function, that what function I need to implement, what exactly I want the changes into it, right? So if I am inserting a new data, then it will replace by 18. That's the only, right? So now let's have with the after, okay? And after, let me move like this. So after thing will be there, right? So here what we are creating, this trigger logs the insertion of a new employee in an audit table. What will happen that suppose you are inserting a new uh, say new employee, or you are updating a data in a new employee table, so that by automatic you are inserting a data into a employee table. So by default, this particular function must update the things into a new table, that is employee audit table, okay. So let's see, create a trigger, okay, after, it means whenever a new and data is inserted into it, okay, whenever a data is inserted into this particular uh, employees table. So here I am using the after function, okay. For each row, begin, see what will happen. Insert into employee audit, the value must be inserted into employee audit table, okay. And what will be the case? Employee ID, the action, and the action time. Whenever a new entry will be there in a employee table, then what will be stored in employee audit table? That is employee ID, what is the action taken place, and the action time, okay. The values are new employee ID, insert, and now. So how you are going to insert a data into employee table? That is the insert function, right? And what is the employee ID? That is the new employee ID you are entering. And what is the action time? That is the now. That is right the time when it is inserted. Why this kind of thing is needed? Suppose there is some changes happens in the employees table, or you can say in any confidential document, if there is some changes happens, then a backup file is there, or you can say a log file is there, that indicates that which particular employee ID is updated, what type of thing is updated, and at what time the things is happening. So using that log table, you can easily identify at what time and when the data is updated. Okay, so let's run this one. Okay, uh, employee ID in new. Okay, because employee audit table is not available with us. So let's create it. Employee ID, action, and action time. Okay. So employee audit, employee ID that is integer, action that is variable character again, that is insert thing must be there. Action time will be in date and time format. Okay, let's create it. It is done. Now it will not say that this is not available. Again, unknown column. EMP ID. EMP ID created now. Just get back in. It is employee ID, I thought so. Okay, that is employee ID. Full employee ID is there. New dot employee ID from this one. That is this one. That's how it will identify the thing. Okay, so have it. Now it is executed. Okay. Now how we are going to check it that in employee audit something is there or not. If we will execute the employee audit table, there we have employee ID, action, and action time, right? So how we are going to identify if we are going to insert a value into your employee table. Okay. So insert into employees table the values, the new employee ID, Shivrajwan Sharma 20 and male. Okay, let me execute it. One row affected. So again, check the employee audit table because we have not done anything in an employee audit table. We have not inserted any data into employee audit table. We instructed the trigger to update these values whenever a new data is inserted into employee table, right? So let's check what is inside my employee audit table. You can see what type of function is implemented. Employee ID 1201 is updated, inserted. The action is implemented, that is insert function. The time, that is 12/9/2023, 8/13/14. This is the exact time and the insert function, a date and time on which the particular trigger is in. Got my point? Let's have one more for the before one. Okay. So first one was for the before. Okay. Second one was for after. Now let's have one more for before function. Okay. This is the full function. Before update trigger or employee salary table. Okay. So in this one, what we have, this trigger ensures that the job title cannot be updated to manager. Okay. For employees under the age of 30, those employees whose you can say uh, age is less than 30, their job title must not be equals to manager. Okay. So create a trigger. It's just like the age part. Okay. So let's see. So creates trigger before updating the salary. Before update, it is before, not before insert. See, here what we are using after insert, okay, before insert, this time what we have uh, update, okay, before update on employee salary, because the data is available with us is in employee salary table, employee salary, right? For each row, what we want to insert if new job title equals to manager, okay, job title is manager, and what we want to execute, age is in is in employee table, right? So select the age from employees table. So let me put it like this so it will be easy to understand. So select age from employees table, where you can say this is employee ID, okay, equals to new employee ID, okay, and it will be less than 30, okay. Then signal to the SQL state will be this one, okay. So this is the then function. This is subquery, right? So 45,000 must be the salary and the age will be less than 30. Set message to it. If this kind of thing is there, then set a message. Only employees over 30 can have manager tag. So sometimes what happens that you have those messages that mobile number must be of 10 digits. Insert a valid email ID, right? Insert last name also, right? What are those things? Those things whenever you are updating a new column into it, right? So let's see what will be the result of this particular trigger, right? And to check this trigger, what you need to do, update the job title of an employee in the employee salary table to manager and observe whether the trigger prevents it when the employee's age is under 30. Okay, so let's check in the employees table. So below 30, this one, okay, 1003, right? The person who having the age 1003, right? So check 1003 salesman, okay. So you can update this particular name, okay. You can update it. You can update the job title over here, okay. Try to update it. Use alter function. Try to update it and use the alter function. And if you will face any issue with it, let me know. You need to alter the name, the salesman to manager of employee ID 1003. No, I didn't post anything. You need to use the alt function. You can say alter table, okay? Alter table, table name, and you can say update and put where clause. Use in the initial queries now. If I will move on to the initial queries, so that thing is where this is the one. Update employee set age equals to this, gender this, where this is. Okay, just use this one again. So this time you want to update what type of thing? So here also say update employee salary table, right? And you want to set job title equals to manager, where where uh, you can say employee ID equals to 1003. That's what we need now. 1003 is employee ID salary. So we are updating this one, right? So while you update it, execute, it's giving you some error. See what is the error coming? Only employees over 30 can have manager. Got it? So this is how this function is also executing this particular statement, right? Whenever the age is less than 30, it will give you an message. That is, the employees over 30 can have manager title. Okay? Only employees over 30 can have manager title. So that you will understand that why the system is not taking the update input, right? So we have three more examples in it. You have to go through it, right? These are simple one and say after update trigger on employee salary table. Here, what will happen that this trigger logs salary updates in the separate audit table, right? So here, create trigger after update salary. After updating the employee salary, each row will be there. Insert into salary changes. So you need to create a new table, okay? And this particular table consisting of employee ID, old salary, new salary, and change time. So new employee ID will be integer type, you can say. Old salary also will be integer. New salary will also be integer. And change time is your date and time option that we already used it before now to inserting the table, this one, right? So you can create this table again, not this exactly. You need to create a new table, salary table. That is this one, salary changes, copy it, use it here. So employee ID, that is integer, no action type of things are there. So you need to say old salary, it will be integer, okay. New underscore salary, it will be integer also, right? And change time, not action time, it's change time is date and time, okay. Just run this particular thing first, right? Now, what will happen whenever you are updating the salary? Okay, it means whenever in employee salary table you are going to update the salary of any employee, the record will be saved in salary changes. So execute it, employee ID. Okay, here we need to update. Okay, then now use this particular thing, update employee salary and say salary equals to. Let's check it. First of all, what is the salary so that we can update it. Salary equals to, let's say, let's change 1001, 45,000, make it 48,000. Employee ID 1001. Okay, update it. Then one change happened. Now check your salary changes table. Just for changes. Now you can see what are the changes that you done. That is in employee ID 1001. Old salary was 45,000. New salary is 48,000. This is the time when it is changed. Got it? So this is how it happens. This file is saved with you, so you can look into it. I will update it also. Right? So the last one you will do, okay? Old age cannot delete employees under 25. If you are trying to delete the employees whose age is below 25, you can't delete that one. Okay, so that kind of thing will be there. And the last one is this trigger logs employees deletions in an audit table. Employee audit, we already have it. So if something is deleted, then also it will be stored in the table. Right? Got it? So this is how the triggers work. Try to do practice on these things. Okay, so that you will understand what exactly is happening. Right?